Trinity Sports Medicine, in its newly remodeled state-of-the-art facility, has a team of professionals that are committed to helping you move better, feel better, and live better. With services to keep you strong and in the game. A qualified staff of sports medicine physicians, a certified chiropractic sports physician, athletic trainers, physical therapists, and performance specialists. Trinity Sports Medicine has comprehensive care programs that are designed to keep you moving, improve your performance, and keep you on track for success.
Welcome to the Star Sports.
Hey, welcome to week 7. Seriously, man.
Wow.
They always say it's the 10 fastest week of your life, and they don't lie, do they?
Yeah, it seems like we were just getting wrapped up with camps and the summer and week 7.
Boom, week 7.
I'm just trying to get to week 9.
Central Madonna, isn't
That's
it?
what I'm looking for. Coach Kessel, I will be as unbiased as possible. He hit me on Twitter, said I had to be unbiased in that game. I'm not going to be, but I'll try my best.
Which means he ain't going to try at all is what that means. Oh, hey, real quick. I know you were at games 3 and games 4.
Yep. Yeah, still won't be able to top that wild card game on last Tuesday, but the Pirates got a win for me on Sunday. My brother was in attendance with me. It was his 18th birthday, so it was a nice birthday present for him. He smoked a victory cigar with me afterwards. He bought it himself for being 18. He flashed his ID at the 7-Eleven in downtown Pittsburgh.
And big boy stuff.
I hope my mom's not listening to this one either because she'll be mad at me and him. But
someone will tell her about it. So.
But it was an awesome night. Went to the game yesterday too. They each hit a home run, but
how quiet was PNC Park when Holiday jacked the 2?
You could hear a pin drop. You could actually hear the St. Louis Cardinals' wives cheering in their section, like they were in one of the 100 levels, right behind the dugout.
Right.
And you can hear the dugout cheering. You can hear the wives just shrieking. But yeah, it was quiet after that. Then the Let's Go Cardinals cheers were picking up, and then they started to be drowned out by Let's Go Bucks, and then Pedro Alvarez hits a home run, and the place was rocking again. But Michael Wacha, that pitcher was just awesome for 6-7 innings. He couldn't be touched. That was the only hit he gave up was the Pedro Alvarez home run. So
that's amazing. Seriously, throwing an 7 inning no hitter, NLDS.
Now Bucca's got to go back, beat Wainwright.
Yeah, that's not going to be easy either.
No, but you never know.
Yeah, they had their fun.
Let's talk a little football.
Okay.
Silesium, Delaware, Estumba Big Red. And for those of you who don't know what a Silesium is, they in 05 and 06 when Big Red was back-to-back state champs, they were back-to-back state champs. They were 12-2 last year. They just had their first loss of the year last week. And I just glanced at they got some big boys on this team. So this is not the Sir Wilfrid Laurier Canadian team coming down. This is, it's an all-boys Catholic school. So they can play.
Oh, yeah. Talking to Ed Lumen, he's looked into him because he's at every Big Red game. He said this is a very good team that's coming in. Their only loss so far is to the number 1 prep school in Brooklyn, New York. I mean, this is a team that has some talent. So Big Red... anybody thinking, they pulled some team from out of town in, from Delaware, they can't be good. This is a team that has some talent. Big Red's going to have to be on point to beat them this week.
This is legit.
Oh, yeah.
This is absolutely legit. Game. And you have you ever been to Harding on a Friday night?
Nope. That's something I'd be looking forward to sometime, but I've never been. I've heard the stories. I'm from Youngstown, so I know a lot of teams that
Ursuline
graduates. So next week they have to go to Youngstown to play Ursuline. But yeah, I've heard horror stories from Youngstown people about going down to Harding on a Friday night, so I'm sure it'll be rocking for this one.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't see how it wouldn't be. Absolutely wouldn't be. And they're coming off a nice win at Barberton, and
definitely.
Then they go to Ursuline week 8, and then they have Park week 9. So this is back to back. Absolutely, back to back. Donahue and Madonna. Donahue, since they lost a quarterback, they're struggling, and Madonna, one thing they are not doing is struggling.
Yeah.
That they're a really good football team, and people talk about, and you guys can chime in. People talk about everyone's throwing. How we got Comus zinging all over the place, and you got people throwing it here, throwing it there, Bel Air throwing it here, throwing it there. But if you can't run the ball, you can't be successful in high school football. You can't. You saw it Friday night with Bel Air beating Creek with that running game. Right? And Madonna has Comus and Madonna has Elliott Nero, and they have a nasty defense. And against Tuskegee County, they threw the ball 3 times.
Yeah. This Madonna team is, they're weapons everywhere. They have a big, strong, nasty line that comes off the ball, blocks well. We know what Comus can do. He'll run. They'll do nothing but run. But we've seen where if he needs to, he's got a great arm, and he's got a lot of receivers to throw to. He's got kids all over the field that can make plays for him.
Yeah.
Bowser, Weejak.
Biondillo,
yeah. So he can, and he gets the ball to whoever's open. It really isn't. You can focus on one guy. The ball in his hand is in his hands is dangerous because you really, what do you focus on? He'll kill you either way.
Agree.
So this is just a great Madonna team, and Kessel is such a great defensive coordinator.
Oh my goodness! Listen. And from Youngstown, there's not a lot of small ball. Like Madonna's a small Class A school. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of that up there in Youngstown.
You get the bigger schools that can mix and match, but always good running teams up there too.
Right. Because obviously Mooney, and you got Ursuline, and who's the stud running back from Ursuline a couple years ago?
Akis Teague.
Yeah.
Who's
just a man.
He had some trouble. He's actually playing college ball in Iowa now.
Oh,
a real community college. He got in trouble at Cincinnati, but yeah, he's in Iowa now.
I remember when he came to Big Red. Oh, that kid's good.
Yes.
That kid's really, really, really good.
Oh, yeah. I think everybody in Steubenville remembers him.
You think? My goodness.
Ursuline hasn't had a good team since he graduated. That was the last time they won a state championship with the Keys, and they've kind of gone, I don't want to say downhill since then.
But that schedule's tough. Ursuline doesn't exactly play.
Yeah, they're 2-3 now. They had a bye week last week. And
had a bye week?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
You can't have a bye week in Ohio. What, there's no one wants to play him?
Nobody wants to play him, and shoot, they truthfully needed a week off to regroup. They lost by 40 points to Erie Cathedral Prep in Erie,
that's
PA.
A good school.
And,
that's a good.
Yeah, they wiped them clean, so I guess they needed a week off after that one. But
wow!
I remember you guys talking a couple weeks ago about Harrison Central. They played Western Reserve from
Berlin West. Yeah, Berlin Center.
The Berlin Center Western Reserve. Their coach Andy Hake calls Ursuline every year and wants to play him. This Division 6, Division 7 team wants to play Ursuline, wants to play Mooney, but they won't play them because they're pretty good for being a small Division 7 team. But they're not scared to go up to an Ursuline or a Mooney or even a Harrison Central and say, "Hey, let's tango after this one."
Exactly.
But, and I think they beat Harrison Central pretty good.
Well, it was only 19-7.
Okay, yeah.
But
no.
Still have to run the ball. I don't care what anybody says. You have to run the ball.
Got to find a way to run the ball.
You have to run the ball. Williamstown goes to Oak Glen. Williamstown's coming off they got spanked by St. Mary's, and I watched St. Mary's last year against Madonna in the quarterfinals. St. Mary's is good. Really good, and they beat up on Williamstown, and Williamstown goes to Oak Glen, and Oak Glen's had their problems this week, and there's a shake-up at the top and all that fun sort of stuff, but the bottom line is Oak Glen's 0-6, and they don't want to go 0-10. No one wants to go 0-10. There's not one school in the history of any athletic anywhere that wants to go 0-4. Now, they did show some signs last week. I know they played Weir High, and Zach Porter did some really good things, and they saw some signs of life, which is what you need. Yeah. You need to see signs of life somewhere, somehow, some way, and they saw it last week.
Oak Glen, we won't get into the situation that's going on there, but the only thing that you could look at with the situation is, does a team rally around each other? Do they group together, come out, play strong, play together, find a way to, maybe a rally cry right there,
right.
Get together. Williamstown is actually a good team. St. Mary's handled them, but they did beat Magnolia by 1 earlier in the season. They're a solid team.
Well, yeah, they're always a Class A power.
They're a very good program. Oak Glen, you don't want to see them go winless, and all I can say is maybe this is the week. Maybe they put it all together. They had Weir on the ropes last week.
Yeah, they did.
You kind of hope, you want to see it happen, but like I said, Williamstown's a solid program who's going to be looking to bounce back in a big way.
Because you and I both know that Williamstown has no sympathy for Oak Glen.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yeah. They're gonna be fired up from this too.
They're going to see the fact the team's 0-6 and they want to keep them 0-7.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's one thing about sports is if you're struggling, the other team just is thankful. Really, they really don't care. Struggling, Buckeye Local gave Edison every ounce of energy they had, and Edison pulled it out. and they're playing Ferry. And every year, Buckeye Local plays Ferry tough, and they've beat them. Obviously, Ferry is the better team on paper because Ferry's number 8 in the state. Yeah. But it's a rivalry game. Buckeye Local is going to give them every fit there is, but Ferry is just better.
Yeah, I mean, Ferry is obviously the more talented team coming into this game, and actually since that St. Clairsville game, they've been hurting teams.
Yeah,
the last couple of weeks. They had a shake-up at the quarterback position. Seems like they didn't even skip a beat.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, they have weapons all over the field. This is a very good Martins Ferry team. Buckeye Local obviously has had its struggles, but they gave Indian Creek all they wanted,
and
they gave Edison all they wanted. That's 2 teams with winning records that they played with till the very end.
Yeah, Ferry's not taking this one lightly either. This is a rivalry game.
Yeah, Bruni sees that. He's told his team, look, these guys aren't going to just come out, roll out their helmets, and bow down to you guys. You better come out and play hard.
But real quick, you and I both know that you can talk to teenagers all you want about not looking past, and it's teenagers still teenagers.
Yeah, that's you could say they take it day by day or game by game and quarter by quarter, but they're always ready.
Yeah, they're always ready, and they also are looking like Buckeyes offer, and who do we have next week? And and as much as the coaches say, don't do that, kids do that.
Yeah, it's easy to see an oath. Nobody, you want them to stay down as much as possible, and if I almost think kids can rise up to a game like that more than they can against a bigger team that could be undefeated. They'll say that, we circled this game on our calendar, but when they know they have an easy game, they're going to treat it like an easy game and pound them as much as they can.
Exactly. Now we got Creek going to UL. Creek got handled last week by Bel Air, and a lot by Bel Air's running game too. Bel Air I know you were at the game, and that was you saw some pretty impressive running by Bel Air. Yeah,
Bel Air shocked me with the way they ran the ball against Creek, and Creek's got a good rushing defense. That's the thing. Indian Creek is I don't even know what they've lost 2 in a row now.
This is must win if you're looking at week 11.
They've shown to be very one-dimensional with just their run game. They hit a big pass play to start the game, and then were 2 for 9 or 2 for 10 for 8 yards the rest of the way passing the ball. They need to find some sort of balance. But this is gut check time. They have to beat Union Local if they want to go to their 3rd straight playoff, which is one of their goals is to get there for the 3rd straight year. They have to start. They got to regroup now. This is a talented team that shoots themselves in the foot constantly. They give up a big play they shouldn't when they got a team on the ropes. Their offense turns the ball they hit the big play against Bel Air that looked like it was going to start to them roll, and they were up 13-7. And the ball gets punched loose from behind, and the momentum swings, and everything goes Bel Air's way. It just seems like this team lets teams back in the game, gives teams opportunities, and teams like Bel Air have taken advantage of it.
Yep.
And Union Local, while they've struggled some since that 3-0 start, they're going to take advantage of that, and they're a good team. This is not the Union Local.
They gave Edison all they can handle. They gave Edison all they can handle a couple weeks ago.
So,
now, your first game down in the Valley last week, you got to go see the mighty Red Knights of Toronto beat up on St. John Central.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So what impressed you about Toronto?
Toronto's quarterback Blaze Glenn made a lot of things happen. They didn't throw the ball too much, but I think their coach Eric Meek wanted them to try to throw a little bit more. But there was a couple broken plays where they just couldn't get anybody open, and that didn't bother Blaze Glenn at all because he was able to run 60 yards, 70 yards. He only ran the ball 4 or 5 times. 2 of them were for touchdowns of 65 yards. The other 2 were pretty long gains too. Nice. So it was fun to watch him play around. He was fast, he was quick, and so was his brother Ches Glenn. He handed off to him maybe 12 times, and he probably had about 150 yards on the ground, I'd say, too. But that wasn't much of a game. They did use a running clock in the second half, which made a little bit nice on St. John's, which St. John's, their coach told me that they are the smallest school in Ohio that has a football program. So that was kind of eye-opening just to see Toronto with maybe 45, 50 kids on their team. On the other side, they have 18 or 20. So if somebody goes down, it's just hard to imagine them able to bounce back from that when you don't have the numbers to compete with a bigger school.
Now they're playing Bellsville. Both teams are 3-3. Bellsville's number 9 in the region. I think Toronto's 13 or 14 in the region. This kind of constitutes a playoff game a little bit. Yeah, I mean, because Toronto, we're looking at the schedule because Coach Meek can't and we can. we're looking at them being 6-3 going into Week 10 against Madonna, but this is a must-win. And I watched Bellsville. Bellsville got a couple talented kids, but I watched them just get lit up by Madonna, but everyone gets lit up by Madonna. This is a playoff game. This is a Week 7 playoff game for Toronto. Just like it's a Week 7 playoff game for Indian Creek, it's a Week 7 playoff game for Toronto.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is big points. You're talking with somebody. You're playing another team that's battling to get into those maybe final 2 or 3 spots in the playoffs in their region. That's going to be huge for them playoff wise if they can knock Bellsville off, take some points for their 3 wins, and put them back a game. Toronto's got to come out and play it like a playoff. Basically, the rest of their season is our playoff games.
It's week by week playoff games. Yeah,
because if one loss, and their hopes are gone. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure 5-5 gets them in.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Now, as you talked about St. John Central having 18 kids, you watched a team last week that had 18 kids, Canotton Valley. And look, I'll give them credit, man, because that's not easy.
No.
That's not easy at all. And they only have 21 anyway. Yeah. 3 are hurt, and Central just...
Central did what Central's been doing.
Yeah, Central's good. I mean, that's just a really good football team, and you don't want to see too many changes.
No, I mean, I was telling Matt, Brent Colabella with 9 minutes left in the second quarter was 8 for 12 for 170 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And then didn't throw the ball again.
No.
That was his final stats too. I mean, they ran the ball. They did whatever they felt like doing in that game. Barnesville is a better team than Canotton Valley.
Right.
But
not
by much. So, and the thing, again, I keep saying it week after week because before the season, all was talked about was Central's offense, obviously, and for good reason. You got a quarterback with over 6,000 career passing yards. Their defense, again,
is nasty.
Yeah, I mean, again, not a great team they were playing, but they fly to the ball, and they have so many kids that make hits. That Jake McCann plays like he's angry at somebody. I mean, he just wants to hurt somebody, it seems like. But
probably you.
I mean, I'd be afraid to go near him when he's got that look. But that group is very talented. We talk about Stone Romano and Lewis Fallon. Lewis Fallon and actually his younger brothers got to get some playing time in that game.
Yeah.
It must be something in the genes because
Fallon
got his fumble recovery, scored a touchdown, was in on tackles everywhere. It's like, where are they getting these guys? Like, where are these Fallons been the whole time? But they're outstanding. Marty Engel scored a touchdown. The kid we couldn't remember his name last week.
Exactly.
So Marty Engel scored a touchdown because Ryan Fletcher, the stud, fumbled at the one into the end zone.
Come on, Fletch.
But he was helping out his lineman because Engel fell on its touchdown Central.
You got to get the big ugly some.
But that group, they have a really good defensive line this year. This is the best line I've seen at Central in a long time. They get off the ball.
Probably since 05.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and it's fun to watch them play on both sides of the ball now. They don't have to win a shootout anymore.
No. Before we go to the last 2 games, so what happened up in the Canfield area on Friday night?
Sure. Canfield Cardinals, Division 4 team, south of Youngstown. They played a team, Niles Red Dragons, who, about their Division 3 team, they were better than Cardinals coming in because Niles was, I think, 4-1. Canfield hadn't won a game. They haven't won a game since September 12th, 2012. So they come in. It's completely undermatched. One of Niles' linemen is actually going to West Virginia.
Really?
Right here. His name's Josh Kroc, 6'8", 315, but he didn't play. So
he didn't play?
He didn't play. He's been hurt the past 2 weeks. But it was a double overtime game. 70-62 was the final.
Oh, my gosh.
It was the most combined points in Trumbull County history. This quarterback, Kimu Kim is his name, set a record for most rushing attempts in a game, 52 rushing attempts in a game. He scored 9 touchdowns, a new Ohio State record. He was a part of 54 points, 6 for every touchdown. He ran for 3 2-point conversions, and he finished with 497 yards rushing, fifth all time in the state of Ohio. So it was. I was reading some of the papers back home, and they're just gaga over this guy. I mean, he's been their workhorse all year because they don't throw the ball, and they'll give it to him 20 times a game. They'll give it to 2 other running backs 10 to 15 times a game. But they said that he wasn't even tired after all this. They said that he couldn't be stopped, and he's not. I've seen him before in the years past. He's not that fast. He's not that quick. He just keeps his legs moving. But he's only 5'10", barely 180. So he's a small kid,
right.
not that fast, not a track star by any means, but it was just pretty impressive to see those numbers. And then talking to some of the guys that were at the game, it was almost like West Virginia Baylor last year, 70-63, because it was just back and forth. People's necks are hurting, going back and forth, just watching them score on one end, score on the other end. But this kid's named Kimu Kim. He's not going away for a while, and he's a senior though. But you're going to see his name in the record books for years down the road, because it's pretty impressive.
That's amazing.
See, it gets back to the run. It still gets back to the run.
Oh, yeah. Got to run the ball.
You have to run the ball.
When it's freezing cold and windy and snowy and rainy,
you got to be
trouble throwing the ball.
That's when those big uglies come into play, because they got to make the holes for those guys back there.
Absolutely. Well, look what happened to the Bengals. Look what happened to the Patriots in the last 6 minutes of the game last week.
Yeah.
Downpour rain comes at it, and they can't throw the ball. You have to run. You have to run the ball.
You have to be able to run the ball.
Have to.
And hold on to it too. You don't want.
Yeah, also a good thing. All right, Edison and Harrison. This is a really good football game. Harrison's homecoming. It's a must-win for Edison. We know Harrison's not going to the playoffs, but it's a must-win game for Edison. They're in the same boat as Indian Creek and Toronto, where it's week by week by week by week. Edison got every scare it wanted to last week against Buckeye Local, and some of the kids might have saw their whole season flash before their eyes at some point down in the fourth quarter when they're down. But they found a way to win. That's what good teams do. I don't know if they were looking forward to Harrison, looking past Buckeye, but the bottom line is they pick up a W. Harrison, in the meantime, they have to hang on to the ball.
Yeah. That's been their issue.
Their turnovers aren't good. I know your idea of turnover is different. That you want the ones that you eat, little apple strudel turnover, that type stuff. Yeah, I know.
Does sound good.
Yeah, see? It's not just me.
You got to fatten me up a little bit.
We'll get you. You hang with us a little bit longer.
Yeah. We'll get you in Fat Man territory. Maybe not Sobo territory. We'll get you in our Fat Man territory.
Yeah. We'll put a couple pounds on you there.
That's right. Edison's got Nolan Marcus and Ethan Shannon, and Hunter Sweat and Carter Androzzi and
my boy Nolan,
Rich Springer, and Harrison just got to hold on the ball. They have to hold on the ball if they even have a chance to win this game.
I mean, that's been Harrison's issue. They have a really good defense, but their defense gets put in a lot of bad situations because of turnovers. We know when Edison plays well, Edison plays great. When Edison doesn't, they play down to the level of the team that's in front of them. And I've seen them struggle in games. Or Buckeye Local, the Bel Air game, they owned the ball that game. But every time they got down close, they stopped playing well. They don't come off the ball. They weren't coming off the ball. They didn't find a way to win that game. Harrison Central, if they don't turn over the ball, has a good chance at winning this game at home against the Wildcats. Edison, you said it. It's another team. This is a playoff game. If they have any hopes of making a postseason this year, they have to win this game. They basically have to win out.
Well, they have to win. I agree with you, because they already have 2 losses.
Right.
And in that region,
3 losses isn't going to get it done, most likely.
Death, basically, So now, speaking of a team at Canfield that hadn't won a game in forever, Weir High was in that boat for a really long time, and now Weir High has gone back to back to back. So they're 3-3. They won more games. They won as many games in the last 2 weeks as they did in the previous 44 games. Wow. How's that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just.
Yeah, I mean, you had to feel happy for the Red Raiders.
Absolutely.
Right now. The 3-game win streak, those kids are probably having the most fun they've had on
in a long time.
Yeah, maybe ever. I mean, they're just.
Obviously Magnolia's probably a better team.
Yeah.
Okay, but Weir's going in there with 3 straight wins and just a ton of confidence.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. How big is confidence? When you have that, it does wonders for you.
It's got to be a lot easier.
Seen that with Weir.
Yeah, a lot easier to get up for a game coming off a win, 2 wins, 3 wins than it is after a shellacking the week before. So it's
exactly. I mean, if you're 0-6 coming to this game, your attitude's a whole lot different than your 3-3.
And this is a Weir team that has shown themselves they can come from behind now. Before they get down a couple touchdowns, game is over.
Yeah,
and it would just get worse from there.
Right.
This is a team that has seen themselves come back now. They know it's not over just because they fall down a couple touchdowns, and
they did things differently last week. Larch was out.
Yep.
Whipasek was the quarterback. They threw in a little wildcat. Cam Davis goes nuts. I think 13 carries for $139 and 1 or 2 scores. I mean, so they throw in a wrinkle. So now, what does Magnolia got to deal with? Do you try and game plan for Larch? Do you game plan for Whipasek, or do you game plan for the Wildcat? Now actually, Weir is making the other team's defense have to play.
Right.
and they can throw the ball to Cam, they can throw the ball to Clarence Bennett, they can throw the ball to JoJo Rice. Their defense made plays. I mean, that's a whole different ballgame at Weir High.
No doubt.
Whole different ballgame at Weir High. And I will tell you real quick, I know you talked about your boy Kessel. The one thing that's real good about being on the sidelines is that, I get to see stuff that people in the stands don't get to see. And the one thing I notice, and this is not just Kessel and Madonna, this is every team that I've seen. When they sub down, they bring in their second and third team, those coaches are still coaching hard.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's, they owe those kids that. And I'm watching Kessel just go nuts because he's fun to watch. He's not fun to watch, but he's getting after these kids because that's his responsibility. And your freshmen and sophomores, then once you sub down, you got to get after those kids because
2 years from now, they're going to be in that spot
exactly.
Right from kickoff and have to know what to do in certain situations. And they're getting experience younger, but they're going to have to bring up that same intensity years down the road when they're going to be the guy out there. Did you see Colabella and those guys stop coaching when they subbed down to the third team?
Yeah, like you said, they know this is their future.
Yeah,
they want these kids playing just as hard. They want them getting better. They want them to improve. They don't want them to make mistakes, just like they feel when the starters are in there.
Yeah.
And you never know when those kids are going to have to step up.
Exactly. You don't know who might get hurt all of a sudden. And so you sit there, you're up 62-0, and you're watching a defensive coach go nuts. Well, it's because he's coaching.
Yeah.
That's his responsibility. Because you don't know when some kid's getting hurt and some kid's got to step up.
Kessel needs to leave it on the field and leave me alone on Twitter because I my feelings hurt when he came after me.
All right.
We have to be done.
Week 8.
We got to wrap it up.
Because you're hungry. I hear your stomach.
I already ate.
I still hear your stomach.
Because I'm always hungry.
Oh, you always hungry. Hey, see you next week. Bye.
Toodles. I'm the reason people watch. What are you talking about?
Okay.
This time we've started with you.
Is that also the reason why they won the state championship in 93-94 because of him?
Because I ate Big Macs every Thursday.
And you never played. That's why.
Exactly. So I was the key to victory.